and welcome to the Fat Squirrel Speaks. Today is Tuesday, July 17th. Notice my eyes looking tonight. And this is episode 21. So sorry, kids, I'm a day late recording. Actually, I'm not a full day late recording. I'm like 12 hours late recording. Not even that. There are plenty of excuses. I don't really think you care. So there. Hi! Welcome to the show. If you're a new viewer, hello. Thanks for trying me out. If you're a returning viewer, love your face. That's all. I really do. You're all out there. And I enjoy your presence. I feel the vibes. It's energizing and revitalizing and all those things that a body wash should be. It's like a body wash of your love, and I appreciate it. That sounded a little dirty, even though I was talking about soap. Sorry, kids. So, I'm the Fat Squirrel. My real name is Amy Beth. If you would like to contact me on Plurk or Ravelry, though, you will find me as the Fat Squirrel. If you'd like to find show notes, you can find those on www.thefatsquirrel.com. There's a Ravelry group. Join a yo! There's lots of shenanigans. People talk about fun stuff. You should do it. There's links to the Jenny Lawson, Beyonce the Chicken story if you can't find that on your own. And if you have not read it, hi, go do so. Festive, but not if you're afraid of cursing. Oh my god, by the way, I just have to, random interjection. Welcome. Let me just discuss. I am totally portioning out the Jenny Lawson book like it is the best crack pipe ever, because it is. Let me also just discuss. Okay, there's so many things to discuss. I will try to limit myself. Fangirl. Okay, she's a genius because in her crazy, and let me just discuss. Bless her heart, because she is crazy. Okay. Like, I usually think I am, but then you read about somebody who's just a little bit crazier you are, you're like, oh, you are really crazy. But like, in the best way for me. I'm sorry that it makes your life confusing and difficult to live, but man, I'm loving the stuff that's resulting from it. Isn't that selfish? I can't know that's true. She's a train wreck in a great and awesome non-fatality sort of way. And the best thing about it is I don't read a lot of comedy writing, which I clearly need to start doing. Hi. I don't read a lot of comedy writing. I like watch stand-ups, and I like to watch the funny. I actually don't like sitcom funny. Like, I don't like laugh track funny usually. Like, occasionally I'll be like, oh, I'm in the mood for that. But that's just who I am, whatever. But where was this story going? Welcome to the normal activity in my brain. That's what I was going for. Okay, her best thing about her is that, like, her brain is so, like, ball of tangled wire electrified with crazy face sauce, sitting in a pool of nutso-rama, like, conductivity. I think she has, like, broadened my mind. Like, I know that sounds crazy to say that about a comedic writer, like, of a memoir, but it is so true. Like, I feel like there are different synapses firing in my brain. Like, I want like a neuron, like I want like some sort of scan, like pre this book, which now is too late because I don't have that. Okay, if you haven't read the book and you have access to brain scan equipment, and you're a knitter who watches this show, that's literally impossible. Okay, but if you are, and it's the future, and you have not read the Jenny Lawson book, let's pretend, oh God, this never happened, then please, before you read it, which you must, scan your brain, okay? And then read the book, and then scan your brain again, because I am convinced that messes up your brain in a good way. Like, I find myself thinking, like, in these great, wonderful tangents that normally I just shut off because I'm like, that's not appropriate. Or, you know, like, I am talking to other humans, don't think about those things. Not that those are bad things, but they're just like where your brain wants to go. And my brain's always like, I want to go there, I want to go there, I want to go. And I'm like, no. And the brain's like, and it's crying in a corner. Okay, so I was all like, you know, person, you need to take a break. Jenny Lawson says, take a break. So then my other brain is all like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about life. And it's all, oh. Sorry, you may hear some underdog for a moment. My child seems to have unplugged her headphones. No problem. No problem. Oh, now there's a funny screen, so she's going to freak out. Just click the X. Okay. Parenting at its best. So anyway, we should read that book. The Powering in the Best of Ways. Okay. So I have lots to talk about. There's like literally a mountain of fiber over here. It's like my own festival of fiber. I really was like all depressed. I was like, man, I didn't really get much done this week. I didn't, but somehow there's a lot of stuff over here. I don't know how that happened. Newtonian physics, clearly wrong. Conservation of matter. Okay. So, first things, besides initial ranting about Jenny Lawson. Go read the book, really. I'm not getting any money from that, but do. Thank yous. There are always ones because you people are awesome sauce. Thank you for additional iTunes reviews. Oh my gosh, there's so many now. It makes me so excited. There's like 7 pages of written reviews and 126 positive star reviews when I checked last time. Oh my god. Thank you for showing your love. That's me showing my love. Do you feel it? Okay, so thank you for people who've done that. If you have not done that, I still love you, but I might love you more because I don't love you in an unconditional way because you're not my child. So go do that for me or your other favorite podcasters. Oh, wait. No, I really won't. I'm impatient. Okay, so thank you to Janice. Sorry, my voice is cracking. It's 8 a.m. That's real coffee. Thank you to Janice who donated her real live, hard-earned money to the show. In her little message, she was very cute. She says, I don't know what's a respectable amount of money to donate. Any amount of money is a respectable amount of money to donate. People, I kid you not. I quibble over quarters. If you could donate $1.25 on PayPal, I would be like, thank you for donating $1.25. I don't know what their limits are, but if they are, I may see a $1.25 donation tomorrow, and I would appreciate it. Just saying. Further donations. Oh my gosh. The birthday continues. The rain down its joy upon my person. These were not specifically birthday. Well, one of them. No, they really weren't even specifically birthday. They were just specifically people are awesome and thank you very much, MK. I'm just saying. Are you ready? It's my first ever unwind. My first ever unwind fiber. Isn't it beautiful? And look, it matches me even. Ooh, it smells good. Man, I'm such addicted to smells. So this is her. Oh, here's her card. Of course, you know who she is. She's super famous and stuff. But she's her card. She's Unwind Yarn Company. She's super fabulous, clearly. This is her Polewurst Silk and Peach Crumble. It's so appropriate too because my bestie friend just came. And I was like, oh my bad, my bestie friend came and like she likes to eat food and I made her a peach pie. And then I remembered after I made her a peach pie that she doesn't like peach pie. So guess who ate a whole peach pie? Not me. These bosoms are well earned, people. Isn't that beautiful? I'm so excited. Okay. Gift number 2. Oh my god, can you believe it? The beautiful, well, okay, this is the beautiful Gnome Acres. You see that there? And of course, you know what this is. This is the Knittables Franklin colorway and her 75% merino, 25% nylon. Go watch your show, please. Okay. Base. So how many? 462 yards. Oh my gosh. That's a lot. So isn't it pretty? And this is from the beautiful Corey iRock Knits. Love her. I mean, not for this. Just because she's stinking cute. And I know she's out there in Minnesota. And I hope she talks cute. Does she talk cute? Does anybody know her? I'm sure she does. She's from Minnesota. Or she lives there. Maybe she's not really from there. Okay, my God, it's a total rant. But oh my God, it's pretty. So I'm so excited that the Knittables and the Knitting in Circles are doing their joint cal of their colorways of the Franklin, Knittables Franklin, and the Froggy Monkey. Is it like Surprise or something? I don't know. But it's that orange and bluish one. So how convenient for me. Now I can just go look at their boards and be like, I like that pattern. Oh, I like that pattern. Oh, I like that pattern. Thank you, guys. I know you really did that in tandem with Corey on purpose. I'm sure that that was prearranged only for my pleasure. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I'll just do my last enabling. Because those are like thank yous plus enabling. 2 for 1, people. But this is, okay, so this is my birthday present to myself. Okay. This is, of course, by the beautiful crafty girl. Could she be any more beautiful? No, she couldn't. Because she is wonderful and gorgeous and beautiful. I think I already said that once. But this is her, what is it called? It's like Katamari? No. Prince of the Cosmos. That's what it is. And this is her strong sock base. Fingering 2-ply. 80% merino, 20% nylon. 400 yards, 100 grams. This is a high twist, and the Franklin is not a high twist. Both very soft. Both very strong. I don't know how to spell that, don't ask. So, if you don't know what this colorway is based on, it's based on the game Katamari, which is a series of games actually now, in which there is a little boy, his name is the Prince of the Cosmos, who has to earn his father's love by going to Earth and rolling things into balls and then sending them off into space. Genius. And there's lots of crazy Japanese pop music to do it by. I am terrible at video games. I've actually reached a place in the PlayStation 3 one, which is the, I don't know, the most recent one, I guess, where I can't get past it because you have a sumo man who is skinny, and you have to roll him around the world that's filled with food and make him fatter. But the bad thing is, instead of him being a ball, which is like at least semi-regular, he's a person, and he seems to get fatter in his middle, which makes sense because that's how that happens to sumo wrestlers especially. So when you roll him, he starts to roll like this because he's a weird shape, which I'm sure has a name, but I don't know. And so you can't really roll him very effectively, and it's timed. Oh, it's stressing me out, so I had to stop playing it. But it's still fun. Anyway, really, I'm not a video game person. My husband loves video games. I'm like, can I have the farming video game and the game where you roll things into balls? That's about as advanced as I get. Also, oh my gosh, random. Let me tell you about products that are 100 years old. But the Kirby Incredible Yarn or whatever that one is, that one's awesome too. I played that with my kid because it's an entire game of textile insanity. Everything is like quilted and sewn and yarned and buttoned. And sometimes there's rubber ducks, my daughter says, and that's true. It's beautiful. Anyway, so thank you. Okay. Forging ahead. Yes. Oh, also the thank you to everybody who was so cute and participatory on the boards. I thank you too. Appreciate your love. Or your lack of love. You could tell me I stink like smelly cheese. I'd be okay with that. I mean, I'm just going to tell you that some people might attack you verbally. Because they're cute. But you can say that. Just be prepared for the wrath. Just saying. Be nice. Okay, so my week was full of shenanigans. My bestie, best, who I've known since I was 13. Oh my gosh, what's up with that? She's the only person I've known since I was 13 who I still communicate with. But I love her face so much. Came and visited me from her town of Berea, Kentucky, which I also love, this weekend. So there were lots of shenanigans. I mean, you know, a la old lady mom style. Whatever. They were awesome. But I won't even get into it because I have so much to talk about. Also, I love her. Amanda. I won't say her last name because that might be creepy. But Amanda, I love you. Thanks for coming to my house. Okay, sorry, that's slow for everybody who's not Amanda, but I love her. Shut up. Okay, so this is my idea. Are you ready? A cow. Local wool. What do you think? I think we need to give ourselves a little time because my vision for this epic cow. But my vision is that we would all do research and try to find local wool. And then we could knit something with it. And then we could all talk about it and promote our local wool providers on the boards. Do you think that's a good idea? So my vision is that we'll run like October or maybe like 6 weeks, October, early November. So that gives us like a full month. Actually, that gives us 2 months. Is that too crazy? It just occurred to me that that's actually 2.5 months from now. Crap. Okay. Maybe. Okay, this is my new idea. End of September. So mid-September through October. How's that? That's my thought. Mid-September through October. That gives us plenty of time to do research. I won't talk about it every episode because you'll be like, oh my gosh, shut up. I'm so not interested in this cow anymore. But I'm laying the seeds now to see what your opinions are. If you think that's a silly idea, then I won't do it. But I think it's a brilliant idea. Well, not really brilliant, but I think it's a fun idea, which is even better. So my theory is that we will all research our local wool providers. If you really can't find a local wool provider, and I mean really, like just don't be like, thinking in my head, I don't know of one. I mean really, if you can't find one, like if you search Etsy and you look in the Googles and the things and you really can't find one, then that's fine. Try to pick at least a fiber that is local to your state. If that fails, at least local to your country, whichever country that may be. So it will be a limit of 1. So I don't want to say what you have to knit, but a limit of 1 entry per human being if we have a prize. If we don't have a prize, then I'll just be like, whatever. But if we have a prize, just to be fair, because some people might want to make a sweater and some people might want to make a ball. So it's not fair if you get to make 500 balls and one person gets to make a sweater. But anyway, so it'll be so fun and so awesome. And then you can talk up your local wool providers and be like, oh, my wool providers are so much more awesome than yours. And there can be smack talk about how awesome our local wool providers are. But, you know, positive, fun smack talk, not really. Because, I mean, that would be weird, by the way. Oh, I'm going to allow bad smack talk about it because that would be so interesting to me. Get vicious. So anyway, tell me what you think. Go to the Ravelry group and join if you have not done so. And if you have, tell me what you think. Silly idea? Okay idea. Mid-September through October, whatever you want to knit, local wool. But you have to like tell the story of your local wool, by the way, clearly. Because I want to know it. Basically, this is just me crowdsourcing information about yarn. Oh, the only other one thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't have a thing to hold up, but Interweave had one of those 50% off all downloadable content sales a while back, and I got The Gentle Art of Plying by Judith McKenzie. I'll put it in it, but I'll say it again in case you don't hear me because I don't have a thing to hold up. The Gentle Art of Plying by Judith McKenzie. Okay, I thought this was very informative and very helpful to me. I have never had a spinning class, though, so this may be something they teach in a normal spinning class. I don't know, but I found it to be very helpful. It's all about plying. It's a lot about the theory of plying, which is what I really needed. It's a little bit about technique, too. I mean, like, she actually does ply, and she does, like, multiple plies, and she shows you how to do, like, up to a 5-ply or a 6-ply, I can't remember. And she talks about why one ply thing is better than other things for some things, and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, especially if they have one of those sales, I would highly recommend it. I found it to be very useful. And it inspired me to go back and reply some of my yarn. Not really reply, but, you know, add more twist to it, because I was all thinking that when I think this is okay to share this one piece of information. I hope the Lords don't strike me down, whichever God you believe in. I always thought that when you were plying, that like you plied until the little bit that came off your wheel was just, it wouldn't curl back on itself so that it was itself balanced. But I kept getting underplied yarn at the end, and because I'm stupid, why don't you just listen to yourself sometimes, really? Like, why do you need permission to listen to yourself? That is the worst thing ever. I need to stop that. But whatever, I did not give myself permission to, like, experiment and listen to myself. I had to have the beautiful Judith McKenzie be like, dude, hello, your intuition was right, dummy. But she did it in a very nice way. But anyway, her like, the big of her thing for me, the big takeaway was, when you soak your yarn and, like, let it be happy in the water, it sometimes loses, like, 30% of its twist. Mind-blowing. Now, I'm sure there are other people out there who'd be like, no, she's wrong. It's an individual thing, people. We get it. But I'm saying that I found that one bit of information terribly helpful, and hopefully enough of a teaser that you will pay her to tell you more. Okay. Your library might have it. I don't know. I can't remember how much it was. I think I'm going to say it was $10 on the sale. Right? If you buy a $5 cup of coffee, come on, people. Give another knitter fiber person your $10. 20 minutes in, no knitting. Here we go. Okay. Simple Skype. Oh, finished objects. Simple Skype socks. Love them. Oh my gosh, where's the band? Yarn or a Tail is the Etsy shop. Local wool people to where they are. I think they're in Maine. Yarn or Tail, and she has some really fun stuff in her shop right now. I'm really having trouble not buying a bunch of it because she has like some llama sock wool, and she's cool dudes. Anyway, she has kind of expensive shipping. Maybe you can go in with a buddy or just buy a whole bunch of stuff. So this is the simple Skype sock. Love this. I'm going to use this I did these from the top down. I'm currently, oh, I left that over there. Oh, well, I'll show you next time. I'm currently doing a pair from the bottom up, but either way, whatever. Love them. They're more of a rustic sock wool. They feel like they're going to wear very well. They are more of a heavy fingering to light sports and more akin to a Croy sock or something like that. I still knit them on my normal size needles. Just because that's what felt comfortable to me. Enjoy it. I feel like they're going to be so awesome this winter. I'm so excited. Could the winter get here? I know I shouldn't say that, sorry. It's so hot. Anyway. Finished object number 2. Ooh, that was terrible sounding. I'm sorry, kids. This is the beautiful Cobweb with some slight modifications by Susan Ashcroft. I won the pattern in Becca from Knit Bites Daybreak Cow. So I think I've ever won. Thanks, Becca. So it's, of course, I guess we're all calling this crescent now. I mean, I don't know what kind of, this is like super waning, waxing, barely there, moon. But I love that shape. So, hello, that's what I wanted. Slight modifications are, she doesn't tell you, I don't think she tells you how many of this lace repeat to do. I think it's just like one of those do it till you're done things. But most of the pictures are 5. I did 6, and I did do, let's see, what did I do? 4 rows? Yeah, I did 4 rows of garter stitch and a super stretchy bind off, just because I liked the ones that were actually more crescent shaped. A lot of people blocked theirs into points, which were pretty, but I just wasn't into that so much. So I thought the garter stitch would help hold it, and it appears that it has. Although maybe just blocking it appropriately would have worked too. So anyway, it's again, your traditional, non-traditional crescent shape. So it's perfect for not a real shawl, but for a scarf. But without a point. I'll talk about in very, no, I didn't forget that. I don't do well with the point. There's nothing on me that's pointy, so when I put a point on me, it just looks weird. So I love the theory of the triangle shawl, but not the application for my personal body. Okay, so there's that. Did I say? This is the Fresh Zing from Butterfly Bush. It's her sock base. It is awesome. It's a perfect shawl. It's I would say a light fingering. So I like it for shawls because it has a nice, even though it's just wool and I think it's wool and nylon. I'm pretty sure, yes. But it has a very nice drape. And I knitted this on a US 5, and I did not block it to pin it. I did not pin it out to block it because I like a garter to stay a little still gartery. And also I wanted a smooth edge. So really I just wet it, folded it in half like this, and just put it on the back of my couch. And then just kind of went. So that's how that happened. Finished object and spinning. Last week I was working on some merino Shetland from Bell Creek Farms, which is local to my state. They're Marion, Indiana. And I told you I had 4 ounces of the brown and 4 ounces of the very light brown, natural Shetland colors. I guess that's Morel and whatever the lighter one is. I should study more. So this floofed amazingly, like when I washed it. So now I have a lovely Morel. I neglected to write down anything about it. I think it's worsted, maybe a DK worsted. But anyway, I'm very pleased with it, y'all. I've had comments like, please hold things still so we can see them. There are multiple reasons I don't do that. A, I'm a spaz, and I have trouble with stillness. You would never think it, right? Like, that woman's a mountain. She should be so still. I'm not. But also because I don't turn on the autofocus, because as I've said, I'm a spaz. So every time I move, if the camera's on autofocus, it's trying to catch up with my stealthy ninja movements, and it can't keep up. That's right, camera. So I don't turn the autofocus on, because if I do, it's all like robot episode. So this is, though, the Shetland. I'm very pleased with it. Probably because I watched that flying video by Judith McKinsey. Gentle Art of Flying. Plug. Not getting anything from that. So works in progress. I'll show you my Abigail sweater by the lovely Cecily Glowick McDonald. I don't know how I say her name right, but that's what it is. And I showed you last week. It is written as reverse. That's okay. You don't have to eat the rest. That's okay. Just put it on the counter. And I am knitting that in the, I don't have any in it, just a little hoobie. But here's a bowl. I'm knitting that in the Quince & Company Sparrow in the Juniper colorway, which is like a silvery green. It's very pretty. Try to see. And this is the sweater itself. I am not that far. I mean, I am pretty far, actually. I am very close to getting the arms separated off. So I am pleased with it thus far. I kind of am like, oh, I wish I would have had like a 2.5, because I had been doing it on a 3 and it seems a little open. But I think I'll still be pleased with it because, again, linen, it has its own unique things happening. And I wanted it to be very drapey, which I know it will be, and very kind of gauzy, which is kind of what I was going for. So I think it's going to ultimately be fine. I just wish it were like a bit tighter. That's okay though. Because the 2 is a little, I mean, the fabric that I made on a 2 I liked, but it was a little bit tighter than the pattern gauge. And it was a 2, and somehow knitting a sweater on a 2 and knitting a sweater on a 3 seems 3 cents so much better. So there's that. Again, I am almost ready to do this, to separate for the sleeve. So there's my pretty bag. Is it pretty? Okay. Work in progress number 2 will be me folding a snowflake so that my child can cut it out. Sorry, it'll be just a moment. Yes, it is July, in case you were wondering. It's not the future or the past. The second thing I am working on is this is just a black and white picture, but quite frankly, you can still see the texture. This is the Shale shawl, which is wildly popular. It was gifted to me, thank you, for my birthday by Lorraine, who is made in England. And it is a triangular shawl. Remember how I just said that thing a minute ago? Just wait for it. And it calls for DK, I think DK-ish. Oh, she used, sport weight. Okay. And it calls for about 330 yards. So it is very pretty. I think at least 2 people did it on our gratitude cow, and it was beautiful. So I was like, well, I'll sign me up. However, as I said before, I'm not super fond of the triangular shape shawl. Just bucking tradition right and left here. I know that it's been good enough for women for centuries, but for some reason it doesn't work for me. So I was watching Stalking Out Zombies, and the Megan from Stalking Out Zombies has totally done a pattern called Simply Riveting Scarf, which is where she took the Age of Brass and Steam, I don't know who that's by, sorry person, which is a triangular shaped shawl, and made it into a 3/4 shawl. Duh. I mean, not duh to her, duh to me. Again, why do I need other people to justify where my brain goes? Actually, my brain hadn't gone there for some reason, which is ridiculous, but it hadn't. So anyway, I am doing it as a 3/4. Yo! This is out of my, oh my gosh, can I say that I like this color? I just noticed this. This is by my, this is hand spun. This is hand spun by Stefania is the fiber. And it's like Osage and something. Indigo, I'm going to say. Almost the exact same color, people. Really? This is Osage. I think it's Osage and Indigo. Maybe it's Osage and I think that's what it is. I'll put it in the notes. Anyway, it's my hand spun. It is hand spun that I replied because of watching that video, and I added more twist to the ply, and now I'm much more happy with it. It was a DK, and then after I did that, it turned into more of a sport, like heavy sportish. So it's working out well. I am knitting this on US size 5s. The pattern calls for 9s. Don't be afraid to change the needle size, people. That's 4 sizes difference. I started on a 9, was like, that's way too loose. Went down to a 7, still too loose. Finally down to a 5. So 3/4. And I'm in 2 of the lace repeats it. So I think this is my first Christmas gift. I think this can be for my mama. But anyway, I'm very pleased with it thus far. This fiber, I believe, is Cobweb. It was fun to spin. It's very easy to spin, and it has softened quite a bit in the washing. Especially every time I get to a part that's especially like a little bit less twist in it, I'm like, ooh, that's soft. Surprisingly so. So I'm very pleased with that thus far. It's like too much light on it, so you can't quite see it's good. Okay, snowflake number 2. So I'm very pleased with that. Hopefully that works out well. And again, if you are confused about how to do that, really all the 3/4 shawl is a triangle shawl and a half. So instead of it being basically 2 triangles made together, like this, triangles made together, you just add another wedge. So you got 3 triangles working together. And if you're confused about how to do that, hello, Stockinette Zombies, beautiful Megan Face, has put out her pattern, which I am also going to knit in another hand spun that I have, and I'm very excited about it. It's one of the next 2 shawls I'm knitting. I can't decide which one to go first. She has her pattern out there, and then the Age of Brass and Steam is also free, because I won't publish this adaptation like as a literal adaptation, because this is a pay for pattern, and that would not be cool, clearly. But I will be like, I made this into whatever. Hush, my face. So you can look at the Age of Brass and Steam, and then look at Stockinette Zombie Megan Beautiful Faces, Simply Riveting Scarf, and you can see how she made it, how she adapted it. But really, you just make it half again bigger. That's all. So there's that. And then last thing is also by the Handspun by Stefania. This did not happen on purpose. It was totally accidental, people. I have her beautiful starry sky of gorgeousness, but might also be a bad thing from Doctor Who because it's very dark. This is not Cobweb, but it's not Cormo either. I can't remember what it is. It's some fiber from a sheep and some silk. Ooh, bad person. And this is her. It's like indigo and iron, I think, is what this one is. And it's very dark. And it is awesome. I don't think you'll be able to see it because no light could actually convey. It is almost, it's like hematite. It's so fun. It is like the black of asphalt, but with like pearlescence. It's so amazingly awesome. And it spins really fine. I mean, I'm not spinning it crazy fine because I am impatient, but it does pretty good. I like it, yeah. I would totally buy it again. And it's not even very expensive. It's like $4 an ounce, maybe $3 an ounce. It's somewhere between $3 and $4 an ounce, so it's not even very expensive. And she dyes with natural materials. Get out! But not really. Okay, so I think that's all. It's totally all. So, yay! I love your faces. Shut up. But not really, because I say that all the time. Okay, if you would like to end this podcast now, please do so. If you would like a more than PG-13, but maybe R, but not really, probably, because I'm not going to curse or actually show anything that I'm talking about. I would let my kid listen to this edition of the Burlesque. If you don't want that, turn it off now. Still love you. Otherwise, I'm going to just talk very briefly. People asked me to talk a little bit more about the Burlesque show. I kind of don't know what else to say. You had to be there. You should go. A, you should support local entertainment because that's awesome. B, you should support ladies because we're all awesome. Mostly. C, whatever. It was great. All of the women, again, there was one woman who I have a very skewed sense of sizing because I think that everybody is either skinny. That's like if you're like less than a 10. Normal, which is like if you're between 10 and me. I'm a 26, 24 top. So 10 in between me, that's normal. And then there's me and bigger, which is fat. I mean, and not in a bad way. Don't worry. Use the word empower yourself. So I'm not very good at telling what size other human beings are. When I was in art class in college, my professor would constantly be like, you were drawing all these people way too big. And I'd be like, but if I draw them the right size, they look weird. So obviously I have some sort of weird distortion in my vision, which glasses doesn't correct. So the biggest lady there was, I'm going to say an 18, 16, 18. And I only say that because I think she was big enough that she couldn't buy her like fancy frilly garments in the normal store, because she did have some more traditional like lady supportive garments, you know, like more corsety things, and not like corset, shiny corset, like literal like workhorse corset. So that's my estimate. That could be wildly wrong, but she will never watch this, so she will never be offended that I either undersized her or oversized her. So it was all the way from that, and she was a lovely lady of color, all the way down to like this big, who was also another lady of color. They represent both sides of the spectrum. There was another woman who was like, I don't even think she was 5 feet tall, because you can't tell because they're on a stage and stuff. But she was a mini. She was a wee one. She's like a little fairy sprite person. By the way, so awesome. Her tagline for herself, her stage name is Geez Louise. And her tagline is, if you don't like my dancing, you'll get cut. I love her. If you don't like my podcast, you might get cut. Just saying. So there was like a huge not perspective, but you know what I mean, wide cross section of the population. And there were all sorts of different ladies. They were many different ages. They were very young all the way to, well, they weren't all different ages. I won't lie, because I don't think anybody was more than 40, if I had to guesstimate. But they were very different in their appearance. There were some ladies that were so tattooed awesomeness faces. They were just like covered in drawings, and I got a little distracted by them. And then there were other ladies who did not have any that I could see, and I could probably see any that they had. Okay, just saying. So there was like a great cross-section of populations. Some women had like the perfectly sculpted bottom. Some women did not. And they were all shaking it. So even though there were no women up there that represented my specific body size, I still felt wildly empowered at the end of it. It was not like going to Hooters and seeing like those. If you work at Hooters, I'm not judging you, because quite frankly, I love your faces. But a lot of women who work at Hooters are representing the very like icky stereotype of what femininity is, in like, because that's what they're supposed to do for their job. That's how they make their money. So they're like kind of representing like a one-dimensional idea of what femininity is. And the Burlesque show is awesome because, dude, it is 3D, yo. It might be like 12D. It might be like science-defying D. So if you're also like, basic question, what do? They shake their bottoms and their tops. Do they get completely nude? No, I don't. There must be some sort of regulation. They never get more naked than a pasty. By the way, who knew pasties were so cute? They are totally crafting their pasties, people. Support them in their handiwork. It was so exciting. I was like, dude, that's a homemade pasty. I mean, and not, and then I'm like, that's a homemade pasty by a middle schooler. Well, A, that would be creepy. B, it didn't look like, it was like very professional looking, but I mean, I'm pretty sure there's no professional pasty factory. Maybe there is, and you're all gonna be like, duh, there is one next door. But they're totally crafting large portions of their costumes, which is awesome. Hi. Because you can't find that stuff everywhere. So they never get below a pasty or a G-string. So there's no like, There's no up close and personal, like scientific diagram style nakedness. There's classy naked, which is such a funny word. It's the only word my mom would use. Oh my gosh, my mom's totally watching this. Hi, Mom. So they never get completely naked, but it's super cute. It's not all just like, I'm naked. It's not like that. It's all like, tease you naked. And I will also say, if you're all uncomfortable about like, is this skeevy? It is not skeevy in any way. Like I would say 78 to 80% of the population or say 70 to 80% of the audience was female. So there was like a lot of good energy in there, and none of it is like angry, show me your boobs, because that's angry and I don't like that. And I think that person would be taken outside by women like me and squaring off in the parking lot and stuff. So it was like all good positive energy. There was no like icky energy. It was just good, and they were shaking their little butts and their boobies, and all of their stuff was very jiggly, which was so exciting. They were jiggly girls, and they were like, we're jiggly, and that's great. And we were like, yes, it is. And so, it was fabulous. So that's really, I don't know what else to say about it, except that it was jiggly and empowering and wonderful and good. And nobody had a bad time, I don't think. If they did, it's not even possible. I literally will stamp of approval. No way possible to have a bad time. So, and it's burlesque, so it's also not like super serious. It has like a vein of comedy in it. Now this specifically was an improv burlesque troupe, so they have more of a focus on the comedic aspect of the art form. But from what I understand, that the intention of, that's beautiful, the intention of the art form in general is to have a vein of comedy in it, to kind of diffuse the sexuality that's being put out there. And probably also to just tone down the crazies, like, hey crazy, simmer down. But so we saw a lot of the ladies after the show and their like normal wear. And by the way, some of their normal wear is so not normal. There was one woman who totally looked like the redhead from Mad Men. Oh, she's so pretty. There was one woman who looked very similar to her. I'm sure she hears that a lot and is like, oh yeah, whatever. But she has like the crazy, like, I don't know how they do that, like that teased, like awesome bump back there. And we saw her in the parking lot after the show, and she was still very glammy, even though she was in normal, like what could be considered normal, like street clothes. But there was another woman out there who wore a lot of wigs in her acts. Well, she wore 2 wigs because she did 2 acts, and she was just like very punk rock. It's like you would never say like that woman is a burlesque dancer, because she like had big old spacers in her ears and her hair was all dark and like pinned back because she was wearing wigs. So I don't know what her hair was like, but she was also very little slip of a thing. She was very petite, and she was like, but not in a bad way, just in like a I'm tough all the time, but not approachable way. So like it was, even when they were normal human beings, and they were so friendly. They were so friendly. We were like walking to our car, and the woman was like over there on the other side of the parking lot. Was like, "Did you enjoy the show?" We're like, "Oh my god, I love you!" Again, she was like, "Thank you." So it was great. Support your lady entertainers, people. We are all far too hard on our lady entertainers. Like, to be a woman comedian in this world, you got to talk about really raunchy stuff and like demean and degrade yourself. And by the way, that sounds like I'm like very puritanical. Trust me, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. But you have to put that energy out there to get a response. If you want to put that energy out there and you're comfortable with it, that's fine. I don't care. But it's not okay that you have to put that energy out there to get a response from a larger audience that is often, in a comedy world, is often male-driven dollar-wise. So, anyway, some of you are going to write me and be like, you're angry and scary now. I'm sorry. I got opinions, okay? So yeah, it was like just real positive and wonderful and great. And go with your lady friends if you have a troupe locally. I highly recommend it. Ours was very affordable. Again, $10 cover charge for the show. Started at 10 and was over at 1 for 3 hours. And I had like a 15-minute intermission in the middle. But what? That's crazy. I felt like I cheated them. I mean, if it would not have been appropriate, I would have thrown dollars at them. But that would have turned it into a different thing, which was not a good vibe. So, whatever. It was awesome. So, I hope that answers a few of the questions you might have. Probably most of the questions were like, is it skeevy? No. Are they completely scientifically naked? No. Is it fun? Yes. So now I'm at 45 minutes. Oh my gosh! But that last part didn't really count. So I love all your faces. Shut up. I can't wait to see you next week. I hope you have a lovely week. I will. And I'll report back. Thanks.